Alright, what's going on, guys? It is time for another weekly recap. We have 3 stories for today. Let's go ahead and start it off with the shortest one. This one's more of an announcement, I guess, but after months of delays, League Play has finally been announced for this Thursday. I'm gonna try it out. I will have a video for you guys, but I'm kinda over it. Like, they just waited so goddamn long that it really killed any hype that people had for it. I haven't even played Black Ops 4 in like a month or so. I've been playing 2K and Apex Legends recently, but I will try it out, after talking about it so much. I am still looking forward to it. Apparently, we are just going to be blown away because according to them, they have made some new revolutionary, never before seen form of League Play. That's why it took them so long. This is directly from them, so I don't know what that means. I guess we'll see. My expectations are pretty low. I've kind of already prepared myself to be disappointed, so we'll see what happens, man. This Thursday, man, we'll see. So enough about all that. Okay, let's move on to the more juicy stories. I think I'm gonna do the Tom Brady one first. Now, before we get into this, I need to make a disclaimer on everything I'm about to say. I just want to make it clear that I'm not a Tom Brady hater, and I will provide proof of that. 2 years ago, before the Super Bowl versus Atlanta, I actually posted this tweet right here. We all know how that Super Bowl went. So I have acknowledged his greatness as a football player. I'm not a hater, okay? I have acknowledged the greatness. However, I do have to question some of his off-the-field behavior. So a couple days ago, he posted an, I guess we can say, interesting picture on Instagram. Now, before I show you this picture, you might have already seen it, but I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Not everyone might know about Tom Brady's history. So the thing about Tom is he's very affectionate. The way he chooses to show this affection is through the act of kissing people on the lips. Now, you might be thinking, well, I mean, what's wrong with that? That's normal, right? Well, I'd say the problem here really is more about the people that he's doing it to rather than what he's doing. So let's take a look at example 1 here. This is an interaction between Tom Brady and his 11-year-old son.
What do I get?
You already know, Jack. Everything comes at a cost, bud.
That was like a peck.
The second kiss shared by father and son prompted tweets from viewers using words like very disturbing and uncomfortably long.
So I think most of you can agree that that was pretty fucking weird. All right, I would guess that the majority of you have not shared a moment like that with your father. I definitely have not. What made it especially weird for me was the fact that the original kiss was not good enough. He said, "No, son, that was just a peck. Bring your ass over here and give daddy a real kiss." And then they kissed for about 5 seconds. Now, let's be clear, I'm not claiming that he's a fucking child molester or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that what he's done here is very weird, and I think we can all agree on that. Even the Patriots fans out there will agree that this is fucking weird, man. That's the first thing. The issue doesn't stop here. It seems that Tom has learned this behavior from his own father because he kisses his own father on the lips as well. I guess you could say it's a family tradition. Some people pass down a secret family recipe. The Brady family passes down kissing each other on the mouth. Same thing, right? I mean, who are we to judge? However, one final thing. We're not done yet. It seems that this tradition doesn't just stay in the family. He also kisses the owner of the Patriots, Robert Kraft, on the lips as well. Here's a couple examples of that. The first pic here is actually a couple weeks ago from the Super Bowl after they won. This next picture here is really just a cherry on top, okay? So at first glance, you might think, oh, it's just a picture of him and Robert Kraft kissing. Well, I'd like you to direct your attention to the left of the screen where their hands are. You will notice that they are actually holding hands, and not only that, interlocking their fingers together. Based on this visual evidence here, I have strong reason to believe that Tom Brady might be a little bit gay. And that's okay, alright? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying if you're holding another man's hand, interlocking your fingers while you passionately kiss them on the mouth, you're gay. So I really don't see how you could explain that any other way. And that's okay, Tom. You know, we're not hating. But some of your behavior is just a little bit strange. So with all of that being said, now that we're all caught up, now that we're all on the same page, here is the picture that Tom Brady posted on his Instagram. So as you can see, it's just a picture of his 3 children sitting down on the ground watching the sunset. It looks like they just got out the pool or whatever. Okay, cool picture. However, after looking at the picture, you will notice that it seems as though none of his children have any clothes on. Now, upon a more detailed further inspection of the picture, people have discovered that yes, they are indeed wearing clothes. It's especially obvious on the boy on the left. You can see his shorts. As far as the girl in the middle and the boy on the right, there's no actual visual evidence that they are wearing clothing, at least nothing very conclusive. We're just gonna have to give Tom the benefit of the doubt that yes, they are indeed wearing clothing, because like I said, I don't think he's a child molester or anything. But you really gotta wonder what he was thinking posting this picture, man. Like, there's no way you could take this picture, look at it, and not be like, wow, this does look a little bit weird. Let me retake this picture before I post it on the internet. Especially based off of everything I just told you. We know all the previous context of his interactions with his family. Nobody just takes a picture and posts it on Instagram. You know, they gotta put the filters on it, they gotta crop it, you know, they gotta make sure everything's looking right. You know, people definitely take their time before they post a picture on Instagram, so he definitely looked at the picture, and I just don't understand how he didn't think anything was wrong with it. So obviously, once it was posted on Instagram, the internet started freaking out, you know, and I just think all of this could have been avoided by simply taking a better picture. That's all, you know. But that's pretty much it for the Tom Brady situation. Moving on to our final story of the day. Recently, a Russian esports organization made their first all-female League of Legends team, and a couple days ago, they actually played in their first professional match, and as you might have imagined, it did not go according to plan. All-female Russian League of Legends team Vayvictus Esports lose 52-2 in the LCL. Now, if you actually play League of Legends or you follow it, you probably understand how bad 52-2 actually is, and I'd imagine you're probably laughing right now after reading that. But for those of you who are like me and, you know, you've never played League or you don't know anything about it, I actually asked on Twitter, like, how bad this really was. I just wanted to get some perspective on it for people that didn't know. From what I've gathered, from what everyone has told me, 52-2 is actually a representation of the kills. So they got outslayed 52 kills to 2 kills, which, I mean, you don't have to really know anything about the game to know that that's pretty bad. What I was also told was that since the score was so lopsided, it seems that these girls were actually being trolled, and the other team was basically like stat padding kills on them, and they actually could have ended the game much sooner, but they wanted to like see how many kills they could get and like how ridiculous they could really make the score. That definitely says a lot right there. But to compare this to Call of Duty, I was told that this is actually worse than a 52-2 team deathmatch, which I think we can all relate to, you know, how terrible that would be. Like, just imagine how bad the kids you are playing in a public match would have to be losing 52-2 to your team. Like, that doesn't happen every day. So basically, it seems as though this all-female professional team went into a competitive match and got treated as if they were just random people in a public match game, and apparently even worse than that. So I don't bring this story up to make fun of them, although the score is definitely funny. Like, you gotta laugh at 52-2. I think it's important that this happened because there are actually a lot of people out there that like to claim that the lack of female representation in esports is because of some sort of sexism against women. In reality, the reason is because, as you can see from this game, they are not good enough. It's about skill, right? For the most part, I can only speak about Call of Duty because that's really the only esport that I'm extremely familiar with. But in Call of Duty, there has never been an all-girl pro team that has even come close to being successful. There's never even been like a single girl on a majority male team that has even come close to being successful. And I would imagine that most other esports are the same. For some reason, I don't even know why, girls aren't that good at video games. I mean, it doesn't even really make that much sense because it's not a physical thing like it is with real sports. Obviously, a WNBA team cannot compete with an NBA team because the men are just, bigger, faster, stronger, whatever. It's just unfair biologically. But none of those things really apply for a video game. Video games are mainly a mental thing, so I don't really know why they are not good at video games and they can't compete with men. It doesn't make that much sense, I guess, but please, we cannot blame it on sexism. Men are not keeping women out of esports. Women are keeping themselves out of esports because they aren't good enough. If an all-girl team came around that was good as fuck and just destroying everyone and they could actually compete and they were one of the best teams in the world, not only would they be in esports, they would probably be the most popular team in the world. I mean, just look at Twitch. Look at how popular a lot of these female streamers are that are not even good at the game. Now imagine if they were actually good at the game. Like imagine if Shroud, who is like one of the best players in the world at like almost every game, right? Imagine if Shroud looked like Selena Gomez and he had his titties out on every stream. He would probably have 1 million viewers, okay? That's a 1 million viewer stream. But anyways, I'm just saying, I think some people out there really just need a reality check. People try to just make every little thing into some social issue when in reality it really just came down to who is good at video games and who is not. That is the only factor here. Simple as that. So anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. As always, if you guys have any stories that you think I would like to talk about, just link me on Twitter, and if I like it, I will use it in a video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, rating if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are not already, follow me on Twitter, links in the description down below. Other than that, have a good day and peace out.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels